Vikings is the story about this little girl, Emma Katz, who has the most incredible imagination you could ever hope to have, but because of this, she can't live in the world of reality with her friends and family. So as incredible as her adventures are, she is lost in the real world, and people want to join her. People want to be her friend, and she wants people to be her friend, but she can't separate the two worlds. I was assigned Yo Vikings as my final set design project as a senior at Point Park. I recently graduated last Saturday, so I'm officially in the professional world, but this was my little cap to my 4 years at Point Park. We decided that we wanted the set to be as fluid and imaginative as Emma's imagination. We wanted scene changes to flow, and we wanted just the story to be continuous without stopping and having large scene changes. And on top of that, we wanted to create an environment versus set locations. So what we did by that was we kind of embraced the metaphors of the show: imagination, libraries, books, Vikings, foxes, basically anything that was mentioned in the script, and we kind of jumbled it together into this fluid environment that we utilize pretty successfully throughout the whole show. That moment when Emma finally sees her Viking ship and her dreams come alive was a very difficult thing to design, because I knew how impressive the moment had to be, but at the same time I had to remember that, we have our limitations in the theater. But ultimately, I think what makes that moment so powerful is it's the first time that we introduce an offstage element. The entire set is contained within the show, and we just shift it and twist it. We keep calling it the Transformer, and we just use it for everything possible. And then the reason that the Viking ship is so insanely epic at the end is because it's the first time we see a large set piece come in. Between the build-up of them talking about the ship and seeing this giant unit come on, it's not just, let's truck on a piece of this, a piece of that. We see the ship getting hauled on, and it works beautifully. And it was one of those moments as a set designer where I realized, that it worked, and it was just a great moment for me, because sometimes when you're designing, you're unsure about things, and you're like, I'm not sure if it's going to work. What if it doesn't work? But it just was one of those glorious moments where it came together, and it was like, wow, that's a ship, we did it. And it really just was fantastic. Being a set design student at Point Park has been unreal in a sense that I don't think there's a program anywhere else that lets you do hands-on experience like this before you even graduate. And this wasn't my first design at Point Park. I was always encouraged to take shows and work hard, and I was rewarded for that. And if you show passion at Point Park, if you show you're ready to work and you love what you do, they'll take care of you, and they'll give you opportunities like this to be a part of shows like this, which, I can't think of a better way to end my 4 years here other than working on this show. Well, I love children's theater, and I hope the kids are just enthralled by this. I hope they go along with Emma on her journey. I hope that they love her as much as I do, and to be honest, I'm also hoping that the adults go along with the journey also. I know the kids are going to. Kids have incredible imaginations. It doesn't take a lot to get a kid to use their imagination, and for that reason I think the theater is so important for kids, because it's just really what they do. It just is what kids are supposed to do. They're supposed to have fun, they're supposed to laugh and be as creative as possible, and theater just completely embraces that. But also for the adults, I wanted with this show to help them along as well and say, yeah, you're adults, but you know what? You can put on a colander on your head, and you can be a Viking also. You know what? Just because you're older doesn't mean, you have to stop using your imagination. You can stop being creative. I'm an adult technically, and this is what I do. This is what I'm choosing to do for my life. I'm choosing to play pretend for the rest of my life, and I want to remind the audience that they can do that too.